Anna is the voice of women who want to find careers they love and get ahead. Since her own career got unstuck, Anna has helped hundreds of professional women find work that they love and are fulfilled in. Classy Career Girl was named one of the top Forbes websites, Forbes top 100 websites for your career. Anna is also a professor at DeVry University and the creator of popular programs like the Get Unstuck Bootcamp and the Get Ahead Club. Today, Anna is going to share with you her step-by-step secrets for getting your own career unstuck and finding work that you love. Also, I don't know if you figured it out, she's my wife. I think she's pretty awesome. I think you guys are going to as well. Please welcome Anna Renman.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming. I used to be in a job I hated and would dread going to work on Mondays and would look forward to Fridays because then I wouldn't have to work for a couple days. But I figured out a system to get my career unstuck, and that's what I love to share with other people and what I'm going to share with you tonight. So my journey starts way back, go all the way back into high school. I'm about to graduate from high school. And I keep getting the question, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be when you grow up? And how many of us, knew what we wanted to do when we graduated high school? I had no idea. And my mom told me, because I asked her for her advice, she told me that it would look really good on my application if I put I wanted to be a math major. So I put math major because she thought it would help me get into college. And it worked. Got into college, did not want to be a math major at all. But thanks, Mom. She's not here, but she helped me get into college, I guess, with that piece of advice. So I waited all the way until my junior year, halfway through the junior year, like the very last possible minute that you could wait to figure out your major. And that's when I looked at my grades. I was like, well, where do I have the best grades? Let's go off that, So I looked at my grades and I'm like, well, I guess I'm good at finance and economics. Those are the two classes that I got A's in. So I'll pick finance as a major. I graduated from college, went into finance, and realized I was really good at it. Like, I was getting promoted, I was getting raises, I was doing great, got manager positions, I had this team. My boss thought I was doing great, but inside, it just didn't fit me. I was just so stuck. And it wasn't the right career path for me. It didn't make me happy. I would come home from work and just dread being home from work. The research shows that women are less likely to make changes in their career than men are. When they feel comfortable and don't want to make that big move, and they also feel like they owe it to their company to stay. And that's how I felt. They had given me this training. I see someone look at each other. They gave me this training, they gave me the support, they gave me my income, for so many years they've done this for me, so I feel like, I need to stay with them. So I stayed with them for way too long, basically, and once you stay for years and years, you end up getting stuck and it's hard to make that move, and I realized it was really time to make that move. I tried the job search. I heard from many of you guys on your applications that you're submitting resumes over and over again. I did that, didn't get any responses. I just felt very, very, very stuck. Dreaded going to work. It got to the point where it was impacting my social friendships and my social situations because I'd come home crying after work. My poor husband knows this. It just affected my whole life. My boss was calling me on nights and weekends, and my clients were calling me, and it was just, I couldn't get work out of my head. You're shaking your head back there. Yeah, it was really, really overwhelming, and it took over my life. If you're in a career where you don't like, it's going to affect your personal life, it's going to affect your health, it just affects your entire life. And so the career is the most important part and why I'm so passionate about this. So my rock bottom came when I was in the hospital, and a doctor told me that I lost my baby. And that was my rock bottom because the first words out of my mouth were, I hate my job, I need to quit. And that's my rock bottom because I'm going through this tragic personal situation and the only thing I could think of was my stupid job. And I realized that my job was taking over my entire life because of that, because that's the only thing I could think of in this tragic, personal, emotional situation I was going through. So I made a mission that at that point in time, I was going to do everything I possibly could to transition out of that job and find work that I loved. So I started getting involved in a lot of things in my at night, on the weekends, during my lunch break, in the mornings. Like, I made the best use of my time possible. I started to understand myself better and learn more about my personality, my strengths, my interests, what I enjoyed doing better. And that ultimately made me realize I love doing this. I love training, I love teaching, I love coaching, I love everything I can do in that arena. Eventually, I started my blog. I was able to go part-time at my job, which was a huge decision. Went to part-time at my job, and opportunities started coming my way. I got the job as a professor at DeVry University. I teach career development. I'm teaching journalism now and a management course as well. And that never would have come my way if I hadn't made that change. The reason for my life experiences is basically to be with you today and to lead you guys through your next career transition as well. And I really feel that that's, you know, the reason that I've gone through my life experiences, through my career changes, is to lead you through that today. Number one, I'm going to tell you about how to understand, how important it is to understand yourself first before you start submitting applications and resumes. I'm going to tell you about the tools that you need for your job search. I'm going to tell you about the support that you need and the system that you need. So I've created a Get Unstuck system based on my own personal experiences. And I'm going to tell you, I could go on and on. I could talk about this subject forever. I guess I'm a professor, and that's what professors do, right? They can talk and talk and talk. But I'm not a boring professor. So I could go on, and you might find at the end that you want more information, more resources, and I will tell you how to do that at the end. Part one is you need to understand yourself better. So many times I see people who are applying to jobs and they're submitting resumes over and over and over again. And they're not applying to jobs that they really want. They're just applying to any old job that comes their way. And what's going to happen to those people, I've seen it over and over again, is that when you apply to another job and to another job, you end up getting stuck and stuck and stuck. So it's been shown that if you're passionate about your job, and if you understand yourself better, you're going to become more passionate about your job, you're going to be more successful at your job. And so many times people repeat the cycle of applying to jobs and then getting stuck in the same job that they hate if you don't learn to understand yourself better. If you understand yourself better and know your personality, your interests, your motivation, your ideal workday, this is like the number one thing that you need to know before you even start submitting applications online. So I tell my clients, like, the first month is kind of just like figuring out what you want to do first, instead of just blindly submitting your applications everywhere. And what's going to happen is that you're going to actually be better in your interviews because you're going to know yourself better, and so you're going to be able to share so much information about yourself during the interview. You're going to get the job. If you're applying and interviewing for a job that you are really sure is for you, you're going to be able to convince them of that because you understand yourself better. So that's number one. You're going to do better in interviews. You're going to do better at networking events. Not that you're not doing great tonight, but you're going to do even better when you know how to explain yourself better and you understand yourself better to be able to give your elevator pitch, which always causes so many issues. You know, what is the first thing I'm going to say to everyone? And then you're ultimately going to be more successful in your career if you understand yourself better, if you're in a job that fits you best. And so that's why I'm so passionate of first finding the right career for you, and then eventually you'll succeed at your career as well. So I want to tell you a story about one of my previous clients, Justine. So Justine was a Stanford grad, and she was going into HR. She was going into business HR, and she was doing it because her parents wanted her to. And she didn't know what else to do. She was kind of just floating through life after college. And so her parents either wanted her to go to law school or business school. And it's kind of a good situation. It's kind of a perfect example of letting other people take over your goals instead of you being in charge of what your goals are. And so she got stuck in an HR job in a cubicle, and it just did not fit her at all. Like, she just did not like that job at all. And so she came to me asking me for advice, like, what do I do? You know, I have this job, I'm doing well at it, kind of the same thing, but I just don't like it. It doesn't fit me, I'm stuck. And we went through her personality assessment. I do a DISC personality assessment. Went through her personality, matched some possible career fits for her. And we also went through her interests, her motivations, her purpose, her mission, her values, her ideal work day, her ideal work environment, all these things that contribute to help you figure out what that ideal career is for you. So we went through this whole assessment to help her understand herself better. And what she realized is that she really loved kids. And so she loved, when she was with kids, like, the hours just flew by. But it wasn't until she went through this whole process that she realized she wanted a career doing what she loved and what her interests were working with kids. So she's now getting her teaching credential and in the process of becoming a teacher and loves what she does. So that's a great example. I wanted to give you a little story of this happening to one of my clients. Step 2 is you need the tools. So I am a huge fan of not wasting time. I have, as you might know, like, I have a ton of different things going on. I'm like in all these different places at once, and so my time is really, really valuable. And the same for you. Your time is so valuable. And if you don't have the right tools, you're gonna waste so much time on your job search. Before people come to me, they just don't know where to start. So they're like on LinkedIn, or they're on Twitter, or they're scared of LinkedIn, and so they're just trying to do all this different stuff. And so I'm a big fan of giving you the tools. And one of the most important tools is with your resume. So after you understand yourself, then you can work on your resume, but not before that. So tools for your resume. Do you guys know how many resumes are received for each job application right now? Any guesses? 250. Yeah. So 250 resumes are received for each job application right now. Do you guys know how many minutes, I should say seconds, a recruiter will look at your resume before it goes in the trash? 5 to 7 seconds. So you need the right tools to be able to attract their attention in that quick amount of time. This is kind of like an example of what happens to a resume. So in the bottom, like, you submit your resume, and this is like the applicant tracking system. That's like a machine. It's a computer. And then your resume, if it gets seen by a person, it has to go through this system. So all this submitting of your resume, it might not even be seen by a real live person. So kind of scary. Don't worry. I have tools that can help you with that. Another tool that's really, really important is networking. How many % of jobs do you think are found through networking? 80. She's on fire. Like, winning all the prizes. No, I don't have a prize for that. But, sorry, I shouldn't say that. 80% of jobs are found through networking. So it's really, really important. Back to saving time. You can waste so much time networking at the wrong places. You're nodding your head. This is the right place, by the way. But if you don't have an actual goal, an actual strategy for your networking, then you're going to go to all these networking events that aren't going to help you find that job that you really want or ultimately reach your end goal. Also, if you're not making the connections that you need to make, you kind of need to know your career target before you go network with all these different people. So that's why it's really important to have a strategy or an action plan that matches up with your goals. When you're sending out resumes, that's like a push strategy. So you're pushing your resume to all these different people. What I like to teach is a pull strategy. And so you build up this reputation, so you pull jobs towards you instead of you wasting all this time pushing and getting in the black hole that I showed you. Another thing I like to teach, it's called the 4x4 networking challenge. Has anyone heard of that? Okay, you must read my blog. You do? Okay. So 4x4 networking challenge, thank you, is what happens when you meet with 4 people you do know every month and 4 people you don't know. Have you tried it? Kind of? Okay, it's a pretty lofty goal. I mean, you can start with 1x1, 2x2, but the goal is to meet with people you don't know and do know every month. it kind of like forces you to get out there and start meeting people and talking to people. I could go on and on about the networking challenge because it really helped me change my career and my life. Yeah, and I'm
thought of that.
yeah, it's a huge.
Schoolers, and that's actually really
Yeah,
good.
we network all the time, and the 4x4. That's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. We can leave here with one thing. One of my clients, after following my networking challenge, she was able to find the internship of her dreams that she otherwise wouldn't have known about. So basically, you're using the networking challenge to find those opportunities. And what happens, so this is what happened to me, what happened to my client when she tried this, you get interviews. Like interviews start coming your way, and referrals start coming your way as well. When you're out there, you'll be surprised at how many referrals just keep coming. You gain like major confidence when you're talking to people over and over and over again. You might not know, but well, people who read my blog know I'm an introvert. And so going to networking events was...
You're not.
She is.
I don't believe it. I don't
promise.
Yeah, I'm an introvert.
Lies.
Thank you, that's a huge compliment, actually. It really is to be an introvert. So connecting and networking with people, going to networking events with people I don't know, especially when I'm busy after work, it's super terrifying, and it was like a huge barrier of mine. One of the reasons why it took so long for me to make my career change. But what happens when you're out there talking to people and practicing that introduction so many times, doing informational interviews and talking to people in the careers that you want to get in, you're going to have major confidence. And so when I first started, I did a year of the networking challenge. When I first started that year, I was so scared. Like I had to have everything like rehearsed and like, you know, memorized and all these like things written down for when I did informational interviews. By the end of the year, it was just all natural. It was like, you know, I could do it very quickly. I've gained confidence. I can get up here. I'm a professor as well. So that's what comes with networking and talking to people as well. And along with that, the best part is that you gain clear direction. So if you don't know where you're going or what to do, when you talk to people, it just gets so much clearer. And there's only so much that you can find online, like Googling. So that's why, you know, a lot of people just need to get out there and start talking to people and asking them questions about their careers through informational interviews. And that's what's really, that's always, it's like the magic thing when I'm working with a client and like their next step is like networking, but weekly they come back to me and they haven't done it. And then finally they do it. And finally they go to an informational interview or a networking event and meet like one really good contact. And things just start, like clarity comes, like they know where they want to go. So I would challenge you, if you don't know kind of which direction you want, definitely to check out networking. There's so many different social media tools you can use for job searching. I won't get into all of them. There's a ton of different things you can use. So I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. My online social media profile is what helped me get my job opportunity at DeVry University. What happened is I was competing against all these other candidates to be a professor. It's hard out there, I know, but I really wanted this job. By that time, I really understood myself better. I knew what type of career I wanted. I knew I wanted to train and teach for my job. So I knew this was like the perfect opportunity for me, especially it was like professor of career development. I was like, this could not be more perfect. But I had some stiff competition, like, you know, professors who had PhDs and, you know, many years of experience behind them. But when I talked to the recruiter at DeVry University, she told me after I got hired that it was my online profiles, my LinkedIn profile, my blogging, everything online social media is what made them pick me over everyone else. They saw I had the 500 connections. They saw, you know, I'm endorsed right here for training and public speaking. 64 people endorsed me. I don't know half of them, but that's another story. And then I have 16 recommendations, and they said that that is what put them over for me because they can read all this and get this on my LinkedIn profile. So there's a ton of other tools. I won't go into them, but there's tools for everything. So there's tools for time management to make sure you're spending the right amount of time for your job search that as best as you can possible. There's preparation tools for when you go on an interview. There's tools for your personality assessment, like I mentioned. There's tools to figure out your mission and your purpose. There's tools to figure out your goals and your action plan and how to actually make those goals happen. There's tools to create your personal branding strategy online and offline. Cover letter tools. So a lot of people think that recruiters aren't reading their cover letters, so they might not even use them. But some recruiters are only looking at the cover letter. So it's really, really important to have an awesome cover letter to go with your resume as well. There's tools to narrow down your career targets. So you might be in the situation I was where I wanted to do a lot of different careers, but I didn't know which one. So there's tools to be able to narrow it down and figure out what career that should be that you should end up in. Of course, there's tools for salary negotiations, so you can get that raise that you deserve. And there's even more tools, but I don't want to overwhelm you. At the end, will tell you how you can get videos for all those tools and learn everything that you need to know. So this is one of my favorite sections because I get to tell you another story about me. But support is really, it's a good story. It has to do with you guys too, though. It's like, it has to do with this whole event. So I am excited to share it with you. But you need support. So one of my favorite quotes is by Jim Rohn, and it's, "You're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with." And so when I first heard that, it really, really made me think about who I was spending time with. Are they bringing me up? Are they bringing me down? Are they supporting me to find that career I love, or are they not? Fortunately, I have an amazing husband. I'll just add that in. Like, he's very supportive. And so it's very important to think about your support network, who you have around you, and also who you know that's in the career that you want to be in. That's really important. And who you know that's already done the process of finding a career that they love as well. So, oh yeah, so if you do it alone and you don't have support, this is what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna be all alone and frustrated and basically be this woman that's holding her laptop with her teeth. So instead, you want a support network that's gonna be this red line to take you around the edge of the maze. So this is your job search, and the red line is your maze. Or your red line is like your support network that's going to take you to the end quicker and faster. A couple months ago, I decided to invest in myself by getting my own coach. I knew I wanted to take my career to the next level and be, see what I could do. So on the second phone call with my coach, she told me, you're all over online, you have online courses, you have online virtual events, webinars, and I said, yeah, I'm comfortable with that. That suits me well. Introverted me gets to be behind the computer. I don't have to be in front of live people. And she said, well, it's time to change that. And I said, okay. And she said, you need to do a live event. And I was like, I can't do that. And she said, no, you can. What are you scared of? Like, what are your fears for having an event like this? And she gave me a minute, and I wrote down, like, all my fears of, like, this was not going to happen. There's no way I was going to do this. And the number one thing on that list was reason why I did not want to have this is because I thought no one would come. And so I was like, that was the first thing. I can't do it. No one's going to come. And she said, well, how many people need to come for it to be a success? And at that time, I told her 10. And so tonight we had 25 people RSVP, which is awesome. And 10 was my success. So this is like a huge success for me, and thank you all for coming here. But she asked me, what else are you scared of? Well, I'm scared of like the money. I don't have any money to pull this thing off, right? She's like, well, are you gonna be okay with, can you reach out to some sponsors to help you pay for the event? And I did. And thank you to the sponsors who helped me pull this off. It was possible. We made it happen. The third thing my coach helped me do, so this is all to show you the support network is going to help you dream bigger and be bigger. And she helped me figure out what I was capable of. She knew what I was capable of, but I didn't. I didn't think there's ever any way I could do something like this, especially in such short notice. But the third thing was the time. I was like, I don't have time to do that. Listing all these excuses. You might be listing your same old excuses, like I can't do that because of this. So the time thing, she said, well, Are you willing to kind of like get some help, delegate some stuff, maybe write it into your calendar? I said, okay, I can do that. And I got off the phone with her and called up this hotel and made it happen, basically. Clearly, everything is going well. It was a success, that's for sure. So that's what can happen when you go out there. Oh, I forgot to show you. This is what I thought that this event was going to look like. Like, it was going to be me. Like, even even today, before people started coming, I was like, what if no one shows? But you did, so it's all good. So that's just to show you what's possible when you have that support network of people that are willing to push you to become bigger and better. And I know that you guys are all capable of that as well, of becoming, professional career women that are awesome and successful. And I know what you guys are capable of. Just like my coach knew what I was capable of, you guys are as well. This is the client, Vivian, and she joined my Get Ahead Club. And my Get Ahead Club is a group of almost 35 professional women who are coaching and supporting each other to find careers they love and succeed in careers that they love. And what I love about the club, like we have a Facebook forum and people go in there and they post questions and answers and kind of support each other. Like, I have an interview, okay, good job, and kind of get each other's advice on resumes or interview preparation. And Vivian was awesome in the club. She's a go-getter, and she would post questions and she would get the support she needed. And what happened is she got the internship that she wanted. She said, I'm so elated, words can't even explain how happy I am. Honestly, this has been such a great investment, having someone to talk to about my career concerns and achievements. Part 4, you need a system. So I all told you how I got my career unstuck, and then I created a system based on what I learned about getting my career unstuck. So I'm a huge fan of checklists, of like my to-do list. I have to have a to-do list every morning to check things off, like what I have planned for the day. And so I love like when you go about your job search, having things to systematize and go through instead of, I have an hour today, what am I gonna do? Like maybe I'll spend it on LinkedIn, or maybe I'll, go email someone. But I just wanted to give job searchers a system that they could easily and quickly go through that works, basically. So, do you guys want to see the system? Yeah. Okay. Like why you came here today, right? Okay, so here is the system, and it spells out unstuck. So the U, like we talked about, that's the very, very first step. And so that's understanding you and learning more about yourself and more about, your personality. The N stands for nailing your mission. And that's really about, what's your mission statement? What's your purpose? Why do you wake up and go to work? You have to know that. The S is about self-reflecting. And so that's like looking at your ideal work day, looking at your ideal work environment, looking at your strengths. Not the strengths you're just good at, but the strengths you enjoy doing as well. Your interests, your motivations, and your values. The T is target your job search. So we're going to create like a very targeted job search instead of, oh, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, and then narrow it down to figure out the best career targets that fit you based off the UNS. So first we do the UNS, and then T is targeting. The U is for uncovering any issues that could come up. So you want to know if there's going to be any issues about your career targets before you step into them. You want to know, like, maybe there's a certain industry that's not doing too well. You want to know that before you get into it. So we uncover issues, and then you're going to create your ideal career outline. And so you're going to have a one-page document that's going to show you exactly the ideal career for you. And you're going to add up everything you learned about yourself, your interests, your motivations. It's going to be on this, like, one-page sheet so that when job opportunities come your way, you know what to look for, and you know what that right job is for you. You might have to say no to a job because it's not the right fit for you. But that's okay, something else will come along that fits you better. And that step is also about creating your personal branding strategy. So it's kind of like, what do you want to be known for? When recruiters go to search for you online, I forgot to mention this, but 97% of recruiters are going to Google you or look on social media for you. So you want to make sure your social media is like an extension of your resume. Like bragging about you above and beyond your resume. And then K is kick it into high gear with networking. And so that's about creating your goals, but then also creating a networking action plan that matches up with those goals. So like I said before, we're not wasting time networking with a bunch of different people. We have a very focused networking action plan. And then that step is also about doing informational interviews, networking with people, and learning from other people, getting that clear direction and confidence. So that's the system. It basically helps you get your career on track, helps you find work you love so that you can be happy, and ultimately you're going to be more fulfilled, and then you're going to have a life that you love too, because like I said before, your career is so important to your life. If you have a career you hate, you're not going to like your life. So they're both the same to me. It's really important to have a career you love so you can have a life that you love as well. This is one of my favorite emails from my client Fiona, and I had to share it. So she says, "Honest, supportive, and friendly approach to coaching was perfect for guiding me through the hard but totally worth it coursework." And that's what I want to drive home with you all, is because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be, hard, but totally worth it. And basically, she said she's encouraging at every turn and gave me a push to take the next step and realize what I wanted. The Get Unstuck course truly got me unstuck and out of my rut. Thanks to Anna, I'm more confident in taking steps to achieve my career dreams. I cannot recommend her coaching highly enough. Anna has me feeling so motivated and empowered to tackle anything for the next stage of my career plans. And this is like one of my favorite parts of it. She says, if she can get a super shy girl like me to start doing informational interviews, then there's nothing that she can't help you achieve. So I work with people, extroverts, introverts, but anyone can use this system and really find a career that they love. The next one that I want to show you, so this is one of the girls that I work with right now. Her name's Mish. She said, before coaching with Anna, I was stuck in a career rut. When I worked with Anna, the outcome I received was learning more about myself and my career passions. Anna is an easygoing career coach, so just so you know, I'm not too hard and tough. I'm pretty easygoing. Anna is an easygoing career coach who helps you identify your career needs, provides you with career tools, and answers any questions pertaining to your career goals, strategies, and problems. And here I wanted to share with you what Rhonda, one of my current clients, says about the club. She says, I'm really enjoying the Get Ahead Club. The interviews are great. They are so informative and motivational. I'm so glad I decided to kickstart my career in 2013 and join the club. I'm really looking forward to the interview tomorrow. Thanks for organizing the Get Ahead Club. It's exactly what I need to help me find the right job and right career for me. So I wanted to share with you what someone else thinks, so it's not just me telling you about how awesome it is. Because really for me, I use it as a way to force myself to interview these other professional women. So it's a side benefit that you guys get to be in there and help each other. But for me, it's forcing me to interact and meet awesome authors as well. So, side note. So a couple facts, 90 days, I told you that's that magic time where I find that the careers start happening and the light bulbs just start clicking in those 90 days. So that's why I created that 90-day program. What type of person is right for your program? So I've used the Get Unstuck system with any and everyone. I've used it with college graduates. I've used it with executives, mid-level professional women. I've used it with women who want to become entrepreneurs. So this is a great starting point if you want to start a side hustle and start your own business. It doesn't have to be finding a corporate job. It can be anything. I've also coached men too, so in the back, if anyone wants a new career. How much time will it take? I mean, that's one of those where you have to think about the more you put in, the more you get out. So if you put in more time, you're going to get more out of it. You're going to get faster results. But I would probably recommend at least 1 to 2 hours a week. And then which option is right for me? So that has to go back to, the quick start is great if you, or not the quick start, the self-starter is great if you, the number one is great if you can keep yourself accountable and go down a list and get things done. That's a great option for you. If you want faster results, then the quick start, number 2, would be for you. And if you really want the hold my hand, you want someone to keep you accountable, to go through this whole situation, to talk to make sure you get it done by 2014, then the number 3 option would be the best fit for you. So I love this quote by Warren Buffett. This inspired me to invest in my own coach too, is that the best investment you can make is in yourself. And it always comes out bigger and better. That's why we're here today for the live event, is because I invested in myself. So there's no better investment that you can make. And I always end all my presentations with this quote, but it's everything you want is out there waiting for you to ask. Everything you want also wants you, but you have to take action to get it. And that's what I want to leave you with. It's all up to you to take action to find that career that you love. So remember the 10 books that we have available, and I'll be in the back to answer any one-on-one questions or individual questions you have. But thank you so much for coming to my first event. Yay! So feel free, definitely still use your drink tickets and your hors d'oeuvres, and I'll see you at the back of the room.
I would suggest anybody else who's ever heard of Anna to definitely take a look at her blog at least. But if they have big dreams and they're stuck, to definitely to step forward and to listen and to take part, and that investing in yourself is one of the best things that you can do. Because they say you're the common denominator in every situation of your life.
I love her blog. I love reading what she has to say every day. It's so motivating. And when I heard about it, I wanted to sign up right away.
She's a very pleasant woman, and she had very good things to say, and definitely motivational, you can tell.
I just met you, but one thing has left. I feel that my journey is coming along, and one thing has led me to another. And I came across you, and I think I'm on the edge right now, looking out and into getting unstuck.
You're gonna go. You're gonna
I'm just
go. I'm gonna
right
push
there.
You got the book.
Yeah, 2014 is
Oh, I want to get unstuck. I want to change careers, and I've been having a hard time already. So I need that push.
You know what? It's awesome. It was awesome. Anna shared some things that I had already been privy to because I've been recently laid off. So everything that she shared tonight lined up with some previous information. So I think it's a very good tool for people to invest in.
I think that for me it was a reminder of things I needed to do, and I do personal coaching. So for me as a coach, I realized that I need a coach in another area to help me to launch some new things. So it was like confirmation, and it was a message I need to kick it in gear. So it was really good.
I wanted to get unstuck, and I wanted to just continue with my journey and find out what I'm best at.
She's great. She's great. Very motivational.